Tell us about what a day as a commanding officer of SEAL Team 2 was like.
Wow, good fastball question right off the bat. Such an energizing and really challenging job. Nothing better. As a SEAL commander, you're doing something a little bit different every day. But in reality, when I ran the task force of 2,000 people overseas in Afghanistan, sometimes we were dealing with very, very hard, dark of the night operations. Sometimes we were dealing with the softer things like infrastructure projects or things that SEALs or Special Forces may be lesser known for. But on net, what we're really trying to do is energize people and help people in the organization go achieve great things. Because really, ultimately, as you know well, it's really just about energizing others and pulling them up to go do great things.
Yeah, and that's tough to do with 10 people, let alone 2,000. So tell me, how did you lead 2,000 people?
Well, the thing I would say first is by recognizing that everybody in that 2,000 person group is both a leader and a follower. You see, a lot of times people hold the actual one person on top as the leader. And I like to say, no, leadership is everybody. It just depends on the situation. So everybody needs to be able to lead. Everybody needs to be able to follow. And then most importantly, to know when to do which, because in a high performing organization, usually everybody's capable. And so it doesn't take the highest ranking person who's the commanding officer of the SEAL team. What it takes is the person who is closest to the problem or the opportunity and who's best suited. And then for the rest of the organization to expertly surround the person who's best placed to achieve the objectives, to really, just put others before self and just do the best thing for the team.
Yeah, that's servant leadership. A little redundant, but that's what you hope for. You hope for people who have that heart. Talk to us about what a day might look like. Tell us a story of what normal was like in Afghanistan as you were leading these troops.
Sure thing. So the truth is your days and your nights get really mixed up because sometimes you're sleeping 3 hours a night for 3, 4, 5 days on end. And to paint the picture, in Afghanistan, this is 2012, but pretty representative of the entire 2 decades of conflict that were there, is being a leader there is overseeing, in my case, 25 different outstations, if you will. Each of those outstations being anything from 6 to 16 SEALs or Green Berets, and then having them augmented with other experts that were not SEALs and Green Berets to help achieve an overall objective. And so out of the 10 months in Afghanistan, we counted, about 60% of the time, there was at least one of those 25 outstations was in direct conflict combat with the Taliban.
Wow.
So complicated situation.
Whew. Man, well, I appreciate your service and the service of so many out there who are in the middle of this conflict day to day. That's real intense. So how many direct reports did you have personally? Obviously, there's a leadership team in place. How many were reporting directly to you?
Well, George, just like any good business, we try to set up a pyramid so that, roughly 7 or so direct reports, because what's really important is thinking about the flow of information and where decisions get made. In any organization, the SEALs or, now I'm at VMware, a 35,000 plus person organization. And it's really the same thing. It's how do you push decision-making where it should be made? If every decision needs to get made at the top, you can see that you paralyze an organization. And so the key is what I like to say is helping the organization learn how to think, not what to think, and not rely on the people that are further up the classic hierarchical chain of command. And so what I did was really, as a leader, I tried to not have a job. I joke around that the L, George, stands for lazy in SEAL. It's because, the more that I can push to other people and sit back and watch the magic happen, then my brain can think about what are we missing. Just like anytime we're doing work, there's the positive space in front of you, but the negative space is where all of the risk and all of the opportunity is. You have to be able to get in that negative space and think about what's your organization missing.
Yeah, we talk a lot on this podcast about working on the business and not just in it. And it sounds like you found a way to avoid being the lid. We talk about how the leader is the lid to the business and how they can become the bottleneck where all the decisions have to flow through Mike. And now there's this huge bottleneck that's stopping us from growth and achieving success. So what were those steps that you took to put those systems in place? It doesn't happen by accident.
Great topic. I love talking about this. Let me answer it in two ways. One is individually, the other is collectively. From an individual basis, I think the most important concept is humility, right? I like to describe careers in three phases. Phase one, we come out of school and we build the foundation of something, whatever we choose. The second phase of a career is going to try to show the world how well you're doing, and that you're really good at your chosen path. Many of us never make it to the third phase of the career, which I think is what really liberates us and accelerates performance. And that is being so comfortable that you're good at what you're good at, that you can stand in front of the room and say things like, I don't know, or not need any credit, and being so comfortable in your own skin. So to your question, the thing that actually really accelerates that organization is seeing others step forward, and then me not needing any individual credit, but just saying the organization's outcomes are my outcomes, and I take more pride in seeing others achieve things. So that's kind of the individual answer. And then collectively, of course, it's with teams really thinking about will that success or that lack of success be equally shared? It's it's not just when it's equally shared, but the perception of credit or blame being disproportionately shared is the first way to break down a team. In the SEALs, we don't do that. We win or we lose together. Every single SEAL element, task, team, et cetera, is the exact same. Everything's shared.